Good morning. Today we're going to be doing lesson 3, which is talking about supplementary angles. So first we're going to define what supplementary angles are. So supplementary angles are angles that add to 180 degrees, or we say that they have a sum of 180 degrees. So supplementary angles can form a straight angle. And we know straight angles are just a straight line. So straight angles then, this angle can be indicated by a straight line. And if these angles are actually shown as a straight line, we call them a linear pair. So if I look here, this here is a linear pair because the angles form that straight line there. And a straight line equals 180 degrees. So say this is 40 degrees. The other one would have to be 140 degrees because 40 plus 140 equals 180 degrees. If I look here at these angles, they're supplementary. So if they need to add to 180, this one's 110, so this one would need to be 70 degrees. But they are not a linear pair because they're not in that straight line. So then I have a couple questions. We want to determine if the following angles are supplementary or not. So if I look here, I have angle A is 90 degrees and angle B is 100 degrees. So 90 degrees plus 100 degrees gives me 190 degrees. So 190 degrees is not the same as 180, so they are not supplementary. For number 6, I have an 80 degree angle plus an 100 degree angle, which gives me 180 degrees, so these are supplementary angles. So now I'd like you to pause this video and try 7 and 8 and come back to check your answer. So number 7, I had a 40 degree and a 140 degree angle. When I add those, I get 180. So yes, they are supplementary angles. Number 8, I have a 30 degree angle and a 60 degree angle, which adds to give me 90 degree angles. So they are not supplementary. But thinking back to yesterday's lesson, you should realize that they are actually complementary because they add to 90 degrees. So now looking at question number 5, we have angle M is 60 degrees. They're saying, what would the supplement of this angle be? Well, if I know they need to add to 180, if I do 180 minus 60, I get 120 degrees. So the supplement would be 120 degrees. Then for number 6, I have x equals 5. So what would angle Y need to equal? So I know supplementary angles add to give me 180. So angle X plus angle Y would need to equal 180 degrees. So I set up an equation there. Then I subtract my 5 on both sides. And I get angle Y would need to equal 175 degrees. So we want to get in that habit of using that equation. So I'd like you to try 7 and 8 and come back to check your answers. So if I take a look, angle Q is 452. So if I do 180 minus 152, I got 28 degrees. Then for number 8, my angle is 77 degrees. I need to figure out what the other angle was. So 77 plus angle H would give me 180 degrees. So I subtracted 77 from both sides and figured out that angle H needs to be 103 degrees. So now looking at this diagram here, I notice here I have a straight line. And whenever I have a straight line, I know that these angles are going to be supplementary. And I know that supplementary angles add to 180 degrees. So that means that these two angles must add to give me 180 degrees. So the first angle of X plus the second angle of 130 must equal 180. So now I have an equation and I can solve. I subtract 130 on each side and I end up with X equals 50. So my angle there is 50 degrees. So now I'd like you to try to create an equation and solve for this second example. So if we take a look here, we notice that these angles form a line, so they're supplementary. So that means I need to add m plus 60 to equal 180. So I set up that equation and I subtract 60 on both sides and I get m equals 120. So my angle here is 120 degrees. So let's look at this first example here. I have a straight line. So I know straight lines tell me that they are supplementary angles. And I know that supplementary angles are angles that add to 180 degrees. So that means that I need to add these angles to equal 180 degrees. So I need to take my first angle of 116 and add it to my second angle, which is 4x plus 8. And those must equal 180 degrees. So then I need to solve there. And I notice the first thing I need to do is I need to combine my like terms. So then I end up with 4x plus, when I add 116 and 8, I get 124 equals 180 degrees. Then I need to solve. I'm going to subtract 124 on both sides. And I get 4x equals, when I do 124 subtracted from 180, I get 56. Then I need to divide by 4 on both sides. And I get x equals 14. So now that's what x equals, but now I need to solve for the missing angle value. So if my angle is 4x plus 8, everywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it with that 14. So this is really 4 times, instead of x, 14 plus 8 would be my value. So then I need to multiply 4 times 14, and that gives me 56 plus 8. And then when I do 56 plus 8, I get 64. So that angle would be 64 degrees. And then I can actually check. If I do 64 plus 116, I get 180. So I know that my answer is correct. So now I'd like you to try the second example, set up an equation, and solve. Come back when you're finished to check your answer. So I noticed that these angles make a straight line, which means they are supplementary and add to 180 degrees. I need to add both the angles, so I take 3x plus 5, and I add it to 24, and then I know that those need to equal 180 degrees. So then I combine my like terms, 5 and 124, and I get 3x plus 129 equals 180. I need to subtract 129 on both sides. I have 3x equals 51, then I divide by 3, and I get x equals 17. So now I did not figure out my missing angle yet. So everywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it with that 17 there. So this is then 3 times 17 plus 5. And 3 times 17 gives me 51 plus 5, which gives me 56 degrees. So this angle would be 56 degrees. So now, looking at the third example, I notice that there is a straight line there. And I know straight lines are supplementary, which means that they add to 180 degrees. So here, there are actually 3 different angles, though. So I need to add all of those angles to equal 180 degrees. So I'm going to add my first angle, which is 3x minus 1, plus my second angle, which is 63, plus that third angle, which is a negative x, plus 96. And they all need to equal 180 degrees. So sorry, that was a mistake there. I just have the negative x. And then I need to solve. So first thing is I'm going to combine my like terms. And when I combine my like terms, I have 3x and negative x, which combine to give me a 2x. Then I have negative 1, 63, and 96. And those combine to give me positive 158 equals 180. So now I need to solve. So I'm going to subtract 158 on both sides. And I end up with 2x equals 22. Then I'm going to divide by 2 on each side. And I get x equals 11. So now x equals 11, but I need to figure out what each angle is. So for the first one, my first angle was 3x minus 1. And I'm just going to write that over here. So everywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it with that 11. So it becomes 3 times 11 minus 1. 3 times 11 is 33 minus 1, which gives me 32 degrees. So this angle here is 32 degrees. Then here I have negative x plus 96. And the x is going to be replaced with the 11. So it's going to be a negative 11 plus 96. And negative 11 plus 96 gives me 85 degrees. So this angle is 85 degrees. And then I can check by doing 32 plus 63 plus 85. And when you add 32 plus 63 plus 85, you should get 180 degrees. And you do. So you know that you did this correctly. If you have any questions, please comment on this video or in the Google Classroom, and then complete practice worksheet number 33.